Hola, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to discuss about the how we can understand about the accounting equation and why accounting equation is important. And for that purpose, that's mean so this video actually I have created for the beginners. That's mean, of course, as a businessman, as an industry expert, or as we can say that as a university student, school student, of course you are required to understand the accounting equation. So here I am writing the basic accounting equation. So basic accounting equation, of course, we can say is that assets equal to the equity and liabilities. And today I am going to do about 2019 the O-level accounting and business studies paper, the summation which are related with the accounting equation. So here you can see is that the basic equation is provided by the sum. So assets equal to the equity plus liabilities. So it's given these the relevant basic accounting equation. But you can see that if we are going to consider about the requirement, first of all, in the accounting, of course, when we are going to prepare some sort of answers, of course we are required to look at the requirements, right? So here you can see that under the A part, so it says that you are required to explain first, second, third and fourth transaction with the value. So it means that we normally they are giving the transaction, we are required to do the adjustment. But here you can see that, so they are giving the adjustment, we are required to explain the transaction, right? So that means, of course, you are required to understand these kind of accounting equation. So it's compulsory when it's come to the O level, when it's come to the A level, when it's come to the university, of course you are required to know about these accounting equation, because all the financial statement, all the accounting information are based on this accounting equation. So therefore, so here it says that the basic accounting equation. So here we can do the first one. So it says that the date is provided 2nd of October, and it says that stocks are increasing. So what do you mean by the stocks? So stocks means normally when it's come to the manufacturing company. When it's come to the manufacturing company, of course, in order to do their manufacturing activities, or we can say it's manufacturing process, they are required to have material stock. So that material stock they are getting from the suppliers, right? So suppliers means, so they are the persons who are providing the material for the company in order to implement their production process, right? So material stock, so they are going to purchase from the suppliers. So here it says that material stocks 15,000 we are purchasing. When we are considering about the purchasing, there are two methods: cash purchases and credit purchases. So you are required to consider about, if you are going to consider about the cash purchases, of course there should be a cash decrement that's been in the asset side. But here you can see under the liability side, creditors has been increased by 15,000. So creditors are increasing by the 15,000. Because creditors means, of course, that means we are having some sort of liability. Then you can identify, so we have made some sort of credit purchases. That means we have purchased some sort of stocks from our suppliers, right? So that's, of course, we have identified. But here it is a credit purchases. That means suppliers are becoming now creditors. That means we are required to settle that amount within 1 year. Therefore we can identify this transaction as, so here simply we can say is that, okay, the company is going to purchase some sort of stocks from the relevant suppliers on credit basis, right? So simply we can identify, that means, of course, that means accounting equation should be equal. So assets should be equal to the equity and liabilities. Therefore we can see is that here the assets amount is 15,000 and creditors are also 15,000. Then we can write Sahan business is purchasing. So we are required to explain the transaction, that is the requirement. Sahan business is purchasing 15,000 of stocks from suppliers, so from their suppliers on credit basis. Then you can write, that mean we have explained the transaction. Sahan business is purchasing 15,000 of stocks from on credit basis from suppliers. That means suppliers are the creditors. Under the bracket can write credit purchases. That means, of course, you are required to identify these figures. Then it's very easy to get the marks. So, but here you can see that under the liabilities, when it comes to the liabilities, again there are two categories: non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Non-current liabilities mean liabilities that mean, of course, that creditors are giving more than 1 year to settle the relevant amount. That mean, of course, bank are the non-current liabilities. That mean, of course, when we are getting some sort of loan from the bank is giving more than one period, that means more than 1 year to settle the required amount. But when it comes to the current liabilities, of course, you are required to say current liabilities we are required to settle within the 1 year. Therefore, we can consider, when it comes to the current liabilities, of course, that means we are purchasing some sort of material from our suppliers, because when we are purchasing some sort of credit purchases from the suppliers, of course, they are giving, of course, 2 to 3 month credit period. That means these liabilities are current liability. But if we are getting some sort of loan from this bank or some financial institution, of course, that kind of liabilities we can identify as non-current liabilities, right? So that means here we can see that the first answer is Sahan business is purchasing 15,000 of stocks from suppliers on credit basis. That means there should be an the word what we are saying is credit purchases. Here it says the second transaction, furniture is increasing by 25,000. At the same time, cash is decreasing by 25,000. That means same amount. Furniture is increasing, cash is decreasing. So here it is under the assets column. There is increment in the furniture, decrement in the cash. So in that case, we can say is that assets can be divided into the two categories: non-current assets and current assets. So here we can see is that non-current assets mean normally where useful lifetime is more than 1 year, and of course we are expected to use more than 1 year that asset. Therefore, furniture we can consider as non-current assets. So we can write the transaction. Furniture is increasing, meaning we are purchasing furniture, but here cash is going to be decreased. Therefore, we can say is that it's a cash purchases, cash purchases. Therefore, we can write Sahan business is purchasing 25,000 worth furniture on cash basis. Furniture is going to be increased. That means we are receiving furniture and cash is decreasing. Therefore, you can see that all the purchases, that means these purchases are based on cash basis. Previous one based on the credit basis. That's why liabilities has been increased. But here you can see that it is under the same side, asset side. So therefore, cash is going to be decreased. So therefore, you are required to identify the relevant transaction by identifying the amount. So you are required to explain the transaction. So when it comes to this basic version, so normally we are giving the transaction, you are required to do the adjustment, right? So here the third one it says that stocks are decreasing from 10,000. That means when it comes to the manufacturing companies, of course you can see that that means we can consider that stocks are clothes. That means, for an example, the company is a mass holding company, so they are producing clothes. So finally, after producing clothes, they are going to sell those clothes to the final customers, right? So in that case, you can see that their stock is decreasing. That means they are selling to the customer. So in that case, so you can see that again, when we are considering about the purchases also, we have considered about there are cash purchases and credit purchases. At the same time, when we are selling our stocks to the outside customers, of course there are two bases: cash sales and credit sales. But here you can see that debtors amounts are increasing. That means there is no any kind of cash sales because cash transaction is not there. Therefore, we can consider as this 10,000 decrease of stocks as credit sales. Therefore, debtors balance also increase. Debtors also we are saying that account receivable, debtors, account trade receivables, so same name. So trade receivable balance, debtors balance has been increased by 12,000. Stocks have been decreased by 10,000. So therefore, you can see that when we are consider about the company, of course they are keeping some sort of profit margin. That means if we are producing something, for an example, I am producing cars. So then my cost is 100,000, but I am selling that product to the customers at a price of 120,000. So 20,000 is my profit margin. So likewise, here stocks are decreased by 10,000, but they are getting 12,000 of debtors. That means credit sales amount is 12,000. In that case, we can identify 10,000 as the cost. 10,000 as the cost, and then we can identify this 12,000 as a selling price. Then the difference between the selling price and the cost we can identify as profit. So here you can see selling price is 12,000 and cost is 10,000. Therefore we can calculate our profit amount is 2,000. So of course you are required to keep remember, when we are having a profit or loss which are related with some transaction, of course we are required to adjust those profit or loss in our equity column. So here you can see is that equity column, if we are having now profit, therefore equity column is increased by 2,000. So in that case you can see is that of course equity column is increased by 2,000. That means profit, there is a profit is 2,000. That means our cost is 10,000 and selling price we have calculated 12,000. Of course we are getting 2,000 profit. 2,000 profit is increment of the equity amount. Therefore we are normally entering those 2,000 in the equity column, right? So that means it's very easy. That means of course you are required to identify the relevant component. Again you can see that stock amount is minus 10,000, debtors is plus 12,000. Therefore under the assets column, what is the net amount? Net amount is plus 2,000. It's equal with the equity balance. Equity balance also 2,000 plus 2,000. Then we can consider as asset also. Now the net amount is 2,000 minus 10. Then here plus 12. Then you can see it's a plus 12, and again in the equity side also it's 2. Therefore we can see is that we have done the correct adjustment. Therefore the accounting equation is correct. That means there is no any kind of problem. Of course you are required to keep remember, if you are creating some sort of correct journal entries, so in that case of course you can prove this accounting equation. There will be no problem. It's very easy, no? Okay, so we can move to the next one and we can write that one actually, no? Third one. So we can write Sahan business. Sahan business is selling 10,000 worth of Sahan business is selling 10,000 worth of goods to debtors, or we can say account receivables or trade receivable at a value of 12,000 on credit basis. So of course you are required to say that okay, the cost is how much? 10,000. Then selling price is 12,000, and you are required to write it's on credit basis, right? So that's how you can explain the transaction. All the important points you are required to include in your explanation, right? So it's very important to identify the relevant relationship, and at the same time when you are explaining the transaction, of course you are required to include those elements. Then it's very easy, right? So then we can move to the fourth one. Here we can see is that creditors are decreased by 10,000. So that means creditors, that means previously we have mentioned about, that means when we are getting the credit purchases, when you are purchasing some sort of goods on credit basis, creditors are increasing, no? 15,000 increment is there. But here you can see creditors are decreasing. Therefore we can consider now the liability is decreasing. Therefore we can say is that now we are going to settle that liability by using cash. We are going to settle the liability. But here you can see is that cash is decreased by 9,000, but total creditors are deducted by 10,000. So in that case under the equity column it says that discount received is 1,000. So what do you mean by the discount received? Discount received means normally when we are going to settle that amount, of course the relevant supplier is giving the discount, right? So that means when we are considering about the manufacturing company, supply is there. So when we are settling down the relevant balance of the suppliers, so you can see that we can consider about they are giving sometimes discount. So discount received, that means in the supplier side it's an expense to the suppliers, but when it comes to the our side, discount received is an income for the our company. Therefore we can say is that discount received an income for our company. Of course we can see that, but here there is no any kind of extract accounting equation. There is a basic accounting equation. Therefore discount received coming under the equity column. Therefore we can say is that discount is 1,000, and total amount we are required to settle down is 10,000. From 10,000 then the discount is 1000. Then the net amount is 9000. So 9000 is the amount that we are required to settle down by using the cash. Therefore 9000 decrease is there, equity is increased by the 1000, and then creditors are decreasing by 10,000. Then you can see that again accounting equation is get balanced. Then we can write Sahan business is, that means we are required to explain the transaction. Sahan business is settling down 10,000 credit balance. So that means 10,000 they are going to settle credit balance of suppliers. That means previously they have purchased some sort of goods on credit basis. So they are going to settle down the supplier balance 10,000 with 1,000 discount. So you are required to highlight that one. That means you are required to say you are receiving 1,000 discount, right? So credit balance you are going to settle down, and you are going to receive a 1,000 discount, right? So that means by doing that one, it's very easy to explain this kind of transaction. And then we can move to the second part, requirement. So under the B, it says that state the basic accounting equation of business with values as at 5th of October 2019 after recording the above transaction. That's mean here it says that under the additional note it says that further as at 1st of October 2019 Sahan business total assets are given and total liabilities are given. So therefore it's very easy to calculate our figures. That means first of all we are required to know about the opening and closing date. So here it says that in our requirements B part, so you are required to prepare all the accounting equation as at 5th of October 2019. So 5th of October 2019 it's a closing day, and opening day is 1st of October 2019. So the accounting equation we can say assets equal to equity and liability. So opening balance is assets are, in the further additional information saying assets are 250,000. There is no equity. But again it says that liabilities are 50,000. Therefore simply we can find out the equity value, no? That means 250,000 equals then question mark plus 50,000. Then of course you can see that how we can calculate the equity value. 250,000 minus 50,000. Easily we can calculate equity value is how much? 200,000. How we have got that one? 250,000 minus 50,000. Then we can say is that equity value is what? 200,000. So therefore you can see that opening equity balance is 200,000. So we can write that one. Then we are required to consider about these. There are 4 transactions. So we are required to consider about the impact of these 4 transactions. So then we can move to those calculations. So we have actually explained the transaction. Now we are going to consider about the relevant impact to the accounting equation. So the second transaction you can see is that 25,000 minus is there, 20,000 plus is there. Therefore we can say is that the balance is 0. And here third transaction we are getting asset side plus 2,000, and first one we are having plus 15,000 at the asset side, second one minus and plus 25,000, therefore no balance. Then third one 2,000 plus, fourth one 9,000 minus, therefore we can say that plus balance is 17,000. That means 15,000 in the first one, 2,000 in the second one, and in the final transaction minus 9,000. Therefore we can consider that asset balance is we can consider as it's about 8,000. How we have got that value? 15,000 plus 2,000, it's 17,000. Then it's minus by the 9,000. Therefore we can get the 8,000. Then within the period the asset balance is 8,000. Equity side, of course profit is there 2,000, discount received is 1,000. Therefore total one is 3,000. Liabilities 50,000 plus is there, minus 10,000 is there. Therefore we can say is that liability, the net balance is 15,000 minus 10,000, 5,000. Therefore we can see is that, so opening balance is of course it's correct, 250,000 plus 200,000 plus 50,000. and during the year 8,000 plus 3,000 plus 5,000, therefore that equation is also correct. So when we are calculating our accounting equation at the given year, that means 5th of October 2019, then total balance of the assets 250,000 plus 8,000, 250,000, and equity 200,000 plus 3,000, 203,000, then liabilities 50,000 plus 5,000, 55,000. Therefore you can get the accounting equation 250,000 equals to 203,000 plus 55,000. So that is the answer actually. That means they are asking about the final accounting equation. So in order to calculate the final accounting equation, first of all you are required to know about opening accounting equation. So we have calculated that one, and we have find out the equity value, and during the year we are required to calculate the accounting equation. We have done that one also by considering the relevant transaction in the relevant period, right? So that means we have finished transaction, and thank you all for your participation. And